What's up, my poker players? Hope you guys are killing it out at the tables this week. Today we're going to go over semi-bluffing a regular, overbetting, and knowing when to slow play. The first hand we're looking at is pocket queens from the hijack seat, and we get a raise from under the gun from what looks to be a relatively loose player pre-flop, high fold percentages on the flop, pretty aggressive post-flop play, and we get a call from under the gun +1 from Toki 5, and we're gonna raise here with pocket queens. We're gonna raise $2 to almost 4x, a little bit less than 4x, and we get folds all the way around to the early position raiser, and who folds, and Toki 5 makes the call. Toki 5 has a relatively tight post-flop play. He comes out firing though, which can be a pretty scary bet. My guess is he probably has something like 10s, maybe 9s, maybe jacks that he wouldn't 3-bet with pre-flop because he's 3-betting 100% with premium hands. So I have a premium hand, and I'm thinking that he doesn't. I'm going to make him pay if he has ace-king. Maybe he's got a draw at this point. But I'm going to make him pay if he does have 9s, 10s, jacks. I think I am beating him I'm beating a ton of his range right here. So I'm just going to go all in and put him on a pressure spot with what is most likely drawing against my hand. And we pick up the pot. He folds. Next hand we're looking at is pocket kings from under the gun +1. We make it 3x, and we get called by Ryan, I don't know, who is a very loose pre-flop player. Calls, raises a ton, doesn't fold much on the flop, has high aggression post-flop. So we could pretty much say that this is a fish to our left, and we get called from the small blind and big blind as well. 4 players see the flop, and we wind up flopping top set in a pretty dry board. I doubt many players are going to be playing hands that would be drawing here. We really can't put Tryon on too many hands though because of his high VPIP. Still, putting him on something like King 8 isn't out of his range, but he winds up making a pretty large raise, and I'm just gonna call because I'm not really afraid of any hands that could be drawing. Maybe a 6-7, but I doubt that this player would be raising in that spot with a 6-7. He might have pocket 5s or pocket 8s for a set, and Jack's Bane comes out firing again. He could be on King Queen or just a king. I'm just gonna call here again to see if Tryon comes firing over the top again, which he does not. He just makes a call as well. We have a big pot. I'm ready to get it all in. I was ready to get it all in on the turn, and I was thinking about it, but I'm not really worried about any hands that could be drawing. No one would be playing an ace-jack or an ace-10, so I think they both have made hands already that I would like to see showdown, and I think the best way to do it is to slow play pretty much the entire way and push it all in on the river for a half pot size bet. I don't see anyone folding there. Jack's Bane does, however, fold, and Tryon did have a set as well. So we pick up a big pot right there with top set kings. Next hand we're looking at is ace queen from the small blind. Folds around to us on the small blind against a loose caller. We don't have many hands on this player. Junior Braun. We flop top pair, top kicker, bet again, and he calls. At that point, we have to figure his hand is pretty strong. He might have a queen, maybe called with a 7 on the flop bet. So I'm going to fire again, make him pay for anything that he could be calling with, and he raises. From this relatively loose, unknown player, I'm going to just call his raise. I don't know much about him. I don't know much about his playing. And I don't think that 4 really helped any of his hands. And I don't think, unless he hit a set of 2s or a set of 7s, I think that's the only hands that could be in his range that beat me. So I'm just going to call him down the whole way, check call the river, and I win with queens, ace high, he had queen, jack. Not very smart raise on the turn there, but take it down, another decent pot. And now we're looking at ace king from the button. Tryon again, different table than last time, but he raises right away. We already know that this is a loose player, and so I'm going to raise him again, mostly for isolation. I don't want to just call and have any of these blinds call as well. So I want to get in a hand with ace-king against him in position, and he does make the call. We flop a pair of kings, ace-kicker. It's hard to put this guy on much of a range because of his high PIP. So I'm just going to come out and keep betting since he folds very infrequently. He calls the flop and comes out firing quick on the turn. A lot of draws out there, none of which hit. I'm pot committed. You could almost justify raising the turn there, which I could have almost done. I'm not going to fold the river, though, no matter what happens. And he jams all in with king-jack. We call with ace-king, wind up taking down another big pot against this player. What would you guys have done? Would you have raised the turn and gotten it all in to make draws pay? I don't argue with that play at all. I think that's a great play. I kind of wish I would have done it now. Now we're looking at aces from under the gun. Make it a standard 3x raise. And we get called by the cutoff, Shavani T12, who is a short stack regular. So these are usually pretty tight players. He has very high fold percentages on the flop, turn, and river. So I'm going to try to slow play this one for as long as I can. But if he continues to bet, I know his hand is pretty strong. So I'm going to check call the flop, check the turn, and he bets again. Here, I'm just going to get it all in. I think I'm obviously beating anything he really has, and he does wind up having a strong hand, trip eights as well, and that's the second set over set so far today. Love when that happens, when we have aces. And here we have jack 9 suited hearts on the button, folds around to us, we make it 3x, semi-bluff steal on pre-flop, semi-bluff again on the flop. I'm going to bet it pretty big because we have a very strong drawing hand here. He makes a quick call and comes out firing. My guess is he's got king, queen, maybe queen, ace, and I'm going to raise here representing a very strong hand, which I could very well draw to. We both have deep stacks, so if he were to call, there's a good chance we get in a very big pot against him with a hand that could turn into a very strong hand by the river. But I'm not going to be upset if he folds right there and I pick up the pot, which is exactly what happens. And we pick up a pretty decent pot with nothing but a jack high and a draw. And now we're looking at pocket jacks from under the gun, make a standard 3x raise, folds around to the blinds, Ludwig Schaffenboy. Pretty loose caller pre-flop. VPIP is high at 35%, high flop aggression C, high flop fold percentage. So I'm just going to check back the flop. Now we have a very draw heavy board, but we did hit our set on the turn. He comes out betting, only bets 14%. I think his hand is pretty strong here, and I want to make any draw pay. I'm going to bet and make it 3 times his bet, pretty much bet the pot, and he makes a quick call. Lots of draws hit, but I hit a full house. So here, I'm just going to go all in. He's pretty much pot committed with his short stack. A little bit of an overbet, but it works out perfectly. He makes a call. It looks like a bluff to him probably, so he makes a call with just his kings. Plus he was pot committed. I don't think once he calls the turn there that he's not going to get rid of that hand at all, so you can pretty much just shove it all in. And the last hand we're looking at is pocket kings from the big blind. We get an early position under the gun +2 raise to 3x. Call behind him by Seize the Cheese, who is a regular. We've seen him in previous videos. Parker is also a regular. Both these players are pretty tight, and we get re-raised by another regular on the button to 4 times the original bet. From a very deep stack, we also have a deep stack, but I don't want to scare off any of these regulars with the hand that I have. You want to play different, with regulars. You don't want to give your hand away. You want thinking players to think about what you have. And if I re-raise there, I'm going to give my hand strength pretty much up. And I don't know what is going to call me. Probably only aces, maybe queens, maybe king, ace, king. But I'm probably going to get rid of a lot of the hands that I would beat that I want still in the hand. And that's a perfect flop for pocket kings and the hands that these players are probably playing. We could see a flush draw that might have called there, with ace, king, king, queen, ace queen of clubs. Hopefully one of those players had a pocket pair like tens, but it checks all the way around, which is hard to believe. So we have to know that K-Sander probably had an ace king, and now we're hoping that someone has tens, jacks, maybe a flush draw. So I just make a half pot size bet, and it winds up folding around. I'll take it. Pretty decent hand. What would you guys have done with pocket kings there and the button raise? Would you re-raise and try to isolate? You're probably going to get rid of the Parker and seize the cheese, and you might get rid of K-Sander on the button with his raise as well. I think we probably won the most that we would have with that hand. I doubt we would have gotten more out of any of those players if they folded that turn, which I thought was pretty draw heavy. And I made it a size that overpairs would probably call with. Thanks for watching, my poker players. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you are new here. Give me a like if you like the video. If you have any comments, questions, leave those down in the comment section below. Make sure you check out the video description for great links to America's Card Room, Hold'em Manager, and other poker links. There's some great bonuses that you can get if you click through those links down below. And if you sign up for America's Card Room, make sure you use the promo code DKPoker to receive $1,000 match bonus, 50 tournament bucks, along with other great bonuses. Thanks for watching, you guys, and I'll see you out on the virtual felt.